Welcome to the RP Show.
With me, the Tubiac Maniac.
And me, Steve Johnson. Season 2, episode number 8. Okay, folks, episode number 8. Here we are.
Wow,
Mr. Tubiac, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. Surviving. How about you?
Good. Living the dream over here, as we say across the pond. So, lay it on me, big dog. Who have we got this week?
This guy sounds like a superhero. Adam Palmer.
Adam Palmer. That is a superhero.
Right. Yeah. So, Palmer. He runs his own company, Palmer Vision. It's really awesome stuff. I think everybody's gonna really dig what he's got to talk about.
Awesome. Right. Let's bring him in.
Let's do it.
Hey, Adam. Nice to meet you.
Hey, Adam. What's up?
What's going on, guys? Good to see you.
Good. Thanks for coming on the show. Much appreciate you giving us your time today.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me on, man. I really look forward to getting into this.
Hey, Adam. How about you tell all our subscribers where your vision is currently at?
I have RP myself, retinitis pigmentosa. I don't know why I said that. We could probably cancel that, right?
Keep going. Just so you go. We can edit. We can edit that out.
That'd be great.
Yeah, what was the RP stand for again? so keeping that in. So what's the current status then? You've had RP for quite a while. What are your symptoms like at the moment?
So I've about 67.5-degree field of view. I've got like anybody in this situation. Night, it's not great for me. Dark places, movie theaters, restaurants.
Oh, they're the worst.
Terrible, right?
Yeah.
But I've got really good central vision. I'm blessed in that manner. My progression is very slow in comparison to some folks in my historical family. So very happy where we are. But yeah, currently just not driving. Using magnification, things like that to get through, and high contrast, which is amazing.
Oh yeah.
Just kind of that's where I'm at right now. Just what I got's what I got.
So the next question we like to ask our guests, Adam, is what is your current cane status? Are you a cane user? What canes do you have? How long have you had one, etc.?
Okay. I am not a cane user. I do enjoy sugar cane, but from the cane itself, no, I do not use one. I keep a couple of them with me, actually. And when we're, sorry, my dog's barking.
I think that was my dog, actually. I need to.
Means you're working hard, your dogs are barking, man. That's all that means.
Yeah. Right.
No, I carry, interesting enough with the cane, part of kind of like my goal is I carry a couple of different size, like telescoping canes. When I travel a lot. So I think it's really neat. And I see people that are like us that maybe are challenging or not knowing, or maybe they're not using a cane. And to be kind of interesting, I like to offer someone to give it to them so they can kind of maybe see the benefits of it. And because I do know there's a lot of benefits, it's just not currently something I use.
So with you managing to walk around without a cane, has that led you into any embarrassing situations or faux pas or minor bumps and scrapes?
Let's see. When I was working at I won't say where, but where I was working, I was still in that hiding phase of not knowing. Yeah, you guys know
you haven't come out yet. You haven't come out.
We can relate. I don't
know if we're going to follow that chain. We walked to, but they had these massive glass doors, and I think I saw you guys talking about these glass doors, but these were like 12-foot high glass doors. And they had a fire drill with the whole company, right? So they went to go take off, and everybody's coming out of the building, and they're walking out. And as I was walking out, I was next to a person, and it should have been a 2x2 door, but it was really a 1x1 for me, right? And smacked my face right on the glass on the way out. And nobody knew about it. So I got a video from the people in security and HR with a still shot of me smashing my face into the glass.
Oh God.
And see, now in encouraging, I thought,
wow,
it's not cool, but it was actually hilarious. So and then that started giving me the ability to tell people, at least at that time. And I was probably like, I don't know, 28, 30, something like that. And that was
okay.
It happened though. And let's see, I'll give you one more. I was walking through Home Depot, and I'm not sure you had to blurb that out. I don't know. I was walking through Home Depot, and this guy was carrying a hot water heater on his shoulder. First of all, good for him, right? He's got to be pretty strong. But
Oh yeah.
I was walking through, but I didn't see him, man. About dodge him, and he had a few words for me, and so I turned around and yelled back at him. I was like, "I'm visually impaired," and he didn't think it. He still didn't think it was funny.
I like to ask this question to people with RP that are not using a cane, because although they can usually manage without one, there's usually some embarrassing tales that go along with that, which is always good to get out there, because everybody watching this will have loads of them. So that was good.
You got to be able to laugh at yourself, man.
Yeah.
So Adam, what do you do for a living?
No, I'm actually a visually impaired business owner, man.
Awesome.
That's really cool.
Yeah, man, it's great, man. I've been doing it the last 5 years, and my company is called Palmer Vision. We sell all different types of assistive technology. One of the cool parts about what I'm able to do is, one, I can relate to people, by having my own condition, but I also get the benefit of having all these cool toys. I get all the wearable devices and lots of different digital magnifiers of all sorts, reading machines. So the game is, so people always ask me, what do you use? Kind of like your previous question. And I say, well, I had the benefit of all of them, so I use all of them. But in your position, it gives me a good way to work with people. I really pride myself as being an entrepreneur. I've worked retail, I've worked in manufacturing and management, sales management. And at the hardest point is when everybody walks past your desk and goes, why is your screen funny colors? Or why is of course now everybody wants to do dark mode, so now it's accepted, but not for the 17 years I explained it to people.
I know, right? Yeah.
But I didn't have any assistive tech, right? And when I finally just got tired of explaining why I couldn't drive in the rain, the fog, the snow, but I could legally drive, it was just hard to deal with that. And management didn't understand. They want fully sighted people who can, make a money, especially if you're in sales. So kind of just drove me to starting my own business.
So going back to then that you as a business owner, then there's the people that watch our show, there's quite a big percentage that have come out of employment because they feel they can't do it anymore or they can't travel there. And you are completely on the opposite end of the spectrum. Not only are you in employment, you employ others and you are the boss. You own the company. So how do you find that, being a business owner, being a boss, and also having RP?
I think it's really it's not just my personality. Like I think that it's kind of like people coming out to tell that they use a cane or that they have a problem or they have something that just makes it a little more difficult for them. I think what it does for me as a person, one, it drives me knowing that what we're doing is providing things to help other people go back to work or to be able to go to school. I think it's more of an educational thing where, being, like you said, being the boss. I don't consider it being the boss. I consider it being somebody who is helping the person not have to worry about explaining to the cashier at the grocery store why they can't see the numbers on the keypad. So I think it's a big drive for us, and at Palmer Vision and everyone that works for our company or works associated with our company, that we have the same goal, is to, one, helping people provide the equipment, but more importantly, letting them understand what they have out there to help them, because it's expensive stuff sometimes. And I don't know, that's what really drives me. It's what wakes me up in the morning, knowing that what we're doing is better than what I was doing when I was 19. I'm doing, like we all have, right? So I think it really made me grow up and feel encouraged to encourage others to want to do the same thing I'm doing, but how they did things before, they can still do them.
Okay, so let's talk about Palmer Vision specifically then, because usually when we talk about work, we're interested in you as a person and how you manage to get your day-to-day workflow and how you operate with RP. And we'll maybe come back to that in a second, but let's just dive into Palmer Vision as a company. So first of all, do you find it exciting if you get a client that has RP, because you know a lot more about that condition than others? And have you had any, really good sort of, I don't know, gadgets or products that you think to yourself straight away, this is great for people with RP?
Absolutely. So to answer, yes, with RP, You know, that's my unfortunate bread and butter, right? But we know how to operate with it. I think it encourages me to find people that have similar type situations. But what really gets me with someone with RP or similar to RP, you know, mimics or whatever, is when I meet a young guy, you know, or a young girl. And when I say young, I mean, you know, high school, college age, and like they're depressed because like you guys and I, when you're 18 years old and a doctor tells you you'll be blind by 30, you're like, you know, I'm 18, man, I'm invincible. Then somebody takes and knocks you down like that. You're supposed to be starting your life, not thinking that your life could be coming to a halt. So with Palmer Vision, I think that's more. I think that's what we bring in. We bring in the expertise that we carry products not just for those people with central vision, but with, you know, using the peripheral vision like macular degeneration and Stargardt's. But where I really get excited for not just helping those a full scope of people, but when I get that college kid that goes, I can't do it. I can't do it. And I'm like, you can do it. You just have to take the opportunity to find what your self-worth is. You know, what did you want to do before you had a problem with your eyes?
Nice.
So just for our viewers with RP then, have you got any products that spring to mind that are pretty popular in the RP community?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, eSight 4 is the newest one right now. It's kind of
eSight 4. I've not heard of this one. What's eSight?
So the eSight 4 is it's a company out of Canada. They used to be like crazy, like $30,000 or something like that, and I think they're around between $5,000 and $6,000 now. But it's like a kind of an easy headset, you know, wearable.
Oh, okay.
You know, it really depends on your varying degrees. Then your other type products, like right now, there's a new product coming out it's actually here now. It's the iDaptic 3 and the iDaptic 4. They are, you know, kind of look like a cool pair of sunglasses. So you still get a little bit, of the vanity involved that we all have, right? You know,
what's that one called? iDaptic.
iDaptic 3 and iDaptic 4. And the new eyes has a few new products here and there, but you know, from the current position, I would say that the eSight and the iDaptic are the two go-tos. The new eyes was kind of my starting block, excuse me, when I started my business, and you know, got me into these different products. But with RP, I mean, you got a lot of questions about field of view. So the smaller the screen, the less field of view. The larger the screen, the more field of view. So it really just depends on how much of your current peripheral, if you do have any, is there, makes the best decision for those type glasses. But yeah, they're all invariant. I definitely can, you know, answer any question somebody has, and that costs nothing.
Cool. Okay, well, if anyone has got any questions, please put them in the comments below, and we'll get them across to Adam and the guys at Palmer Vision. So that's a little bit about hardware. Any sort of software recommendations you have for people with RP?
So I always suggest people to start with the free apps. I think it's really important because, you know, when we, like, say I'm qualifying a candidate and I ask them, what do you use? And they say nothing. Do you use your cell phone? They say yes. They did probably like you guys did, where you take a picture of something, then blow it up, and then allows you to be able to see things like that. And that's good for a little while, but you know, what if you need two hands, you know, or what if you need it to read back to you with OCR? So right now, I always suggest them start with the free one, because then when you get where you know you'll use it, then there are other devices.
I guess it's a really exciting time at the moment because technology and things like OCR particular and AI, cloud computing and all that sort of stuff is really, it's doubling up every year, isn't it? I've seen like the exponential growth in processing power and 5G and 6G coming out now, meaning you can just get cloud AI, you know, on tap. It's brilliant. So very exciting time for us and adaptive technology.
I think OCR is something that you touched on something, and just a quick add on my end. A lot of people don't know what OCR is, and OCR has been around for a long time. It was actually started by the military, according to everything I know. And what that does is it literally takes a picture of an image and any kind of printed text and then reads it back to you aloud. So OCR stands for optical character recognition. And I don't think everybody really knows what that is. So make sure you do your research on that, because there are lots of options on that, and some are way better than others.
Yeah, that's something very handy for us and people with our condition, isn't it? Like you say, especially little bottles and things that are just difficult to read, or terrible color combinations and that sort of stuff, which is something I tend to struggle with, especially in work. So yeah, interesting.
Adam, I just want to follow up. when you mentioned one of the products and you said $5,000, $6,000, and I'm like, my, dollar signs are just flashing around, because a lot of people, as Steve mentioned, some people go, who are on disability and stuff. How are you making these products something that is obtainable for me? Like, is there a way, what do you offer people when they come in?
Absolutely. So but most of the time, if someone is working, is looking for these things, first they don't always reach out to people because they see the price, and that's the first thing. So you're absolutely correct about that. Back to one of my previous parts of a conversation, vocational rehab services. Each state has vocational rehab services here in the U.S. Okay, and where they can go and they can use you go and you file for it. Okay, but it is through the state, and they call it different each one. It could be Division of Blind Services, vocational rehab services. All of those services are available to people who are wanting to go back to school, continue in school, go to work on the site, on the job training, things like that. But you have to be in a position where you're trying to go do something. You're trying to make better for yourself and be able to contribute additional to everybody's goal would be to have a job making $1 million a year off of Social Security. If anything, just that independence. So those services, depending on what your income is, they can either be completely provided for you by a certain state agency, or you can have a contribution towards it, and then they work with you. You have a counselor, like here in Georgia. Okay, GVRA is a good group, and they have all different levels of counselors that help you with vision or hearing or any other thing that can go your way. So those are services most everybody doesn't realize they have. But again, you have to be wanting to go to school. You have to be trying to work and continue to be part of it. If you're in the case where you're older, and there are some senior aging services that are available that also with most states, and they provide a percentage similar to as well. It's a little bit of a different process, and the technology maybe not purchased at such a high level. But I've had students that from the state level that got $18,000-$20,000 worth of equipment just to get them through 4 years of college, to try to help them go through 4 years of school or whatever, their vocational school or something. In the older community, though, those devices, there are programs through your local community centers. There are also low income, low credit lending programs that have federal backed grants, which is called a lending library. Every state has a form of a lending library, so you can look that up in your state. And then veterans, which is an important one. We ask everyone that we speak to that's looking, are you a veteran? Because if they are, and if they haven't applied for their benefits, they can apply for those benefits, and the benefits will help you, get some of these devices. But you have to go through a blind rehabilitation program. Could be 2 days, could be 2 weeks, depending on what you're trying to do. But they do cane training. These are all benefits that people, I don't think they know are available to them. But you have to put in effort into all of these things. It's not just going to come to you.
Cool. So we've covered quite a bit about work and your current eyesight situation, all that good stuff. So how about Adam Palmer, the individual then? So what's hobbies, interests, family life, that sort of stuff?
Sure, absolutely. I'm 39. I'm from Montgomery, Alabama. Roll Tide. That's one of my first hobbies. We not currently, because this will be in video forever, but we just lost to Georgia, and I live in Georgia, so that kind of sucks.
I saw that.
Yeah. That's part of life. So I'm married, got 2 kids. My hobbies with my wife are known as business, but we like to sit outside and watch our kids play, man. Like, we really enjoy going to the lake. We enjoy watching sports together. I'm a bit of a daredevil. I like to skydive. I like to water ski. I still do that quite a bit. I like to water ski, wakeboard. Like, I travel a lot, but I travel by myself. And so I travel all over.
That's great, impressive.
Yeah, man, I fly. Somebody said to me, how did you get to I'm in Denver. They were like, how did you get to Denver? I said, well, I woke up in the morning. I took an Uber to the airport. I went through the airport. I rode the train in the airport. I got back on the airplane, flew, got on a train, rode it in, got an Uber, and showed up at the hotel. And they're like,
yeah, that's cool. That's nice. Cool. And I think I've just final point just to wrap up on. I think a lot of people with RP end up in a really strange sort of state of purgatory, whereas somebody that is really blind ends up being more independent than somebody stuck in the middle with RP, because when you're in that weird phase where you're not quite using a cane, but you know you can't see very well, there seems to be a group of people in that zone where they don't go out as much as what they should do because they don't want to use the cane, but they know they can't see well enough. So they stop like traveling independently on their own. They stop flying to other countries on their own. They don't do that sort of stuff. And then you get the other extreme, people, you know, blind from birth or been blind for many, many years. And you kind of go around in a, you know, you go down to the bottom and then back out the other side and eventually get your independence back, don't you? Which is, I guess, good for our viewers to listen to.
Yeah, I think that's so important, man, that you got to know your limitations, but you also can challenge yourself to not be held back. I don't do it perfect every day, man. I get angry at the world sometimes, but I really get angry at myself. Like, you know, like when, you know, if you're organized, like your socks will always match, right? But if you're going to,
what a phrase.
Yeah, right, you like that. So, yeah, but if you're not looking hard enough, you're never going to find it, man. You're really just not, and you have to get yourself going in the day. I take my time. Maybe some people say that it's because you just take forever to get ready, whatever. But I say, I got up in time. So not pushing yourself to where you're going to feel stressed is what I try to do. I'm not great at it always. And the people that are around me, I'm sure, pick up on it more than I express. But yeah, traveling, there's no reason why you can't go to the Grand Canyon. Even if you couldn't see it, it sure would be a lot better than working in the middle of the day.
Yeah, I think for the RP community, you touched on this before. When you're in that hiding phase, that's the phase when you're least independent, isn't it? Because you're trying to hide it. So you're apprehensive about missing handshakes, walking into glass doors. You don't want to explain it to your colleagues. So you become in that little bubble of hiding, don't you? And that's the worst phase. So anyone young watching this video today, anybody just in them early stages, listen to what Adam's saying here, because it's really important. You've got to embrace it and really lean into it, haven't you, to keep hold of your independence.
Well, Adam, it's that time. We just want to thank you so much for coming on. You've shared so many just amazing stuff, and I think so much that people are really going to get a lot of use out of, because people are just so worried about like I said earlier, prices on things and whatnot. So, and just you shared so much great information. Is there anything that you'd like to share? Any closing thoughts?
Yeah, well, first, thank you both for having me on. It's really good for not just for viewers and people to do. This has been good for me too, man. It really gives me the opportunity to feel like I'm expressing what is good for the community, with knowledge of also that, I am a business person, but I'm a person first. And so being able to express these things to people and giving them the platform and the ability to come say something to me and ask questions, I greatly appreciate the opportunity. I really do.
Awesome.
You're welcome. We appreciate it.
Adam, we will put in the description to this. We'll put in links to the Palmer Vision. We'll put in the Instagram account, because we know you guys are active on there. And all you guys watching this, if you've heard something today and you want to get in touch with Adam or Adam's team, look in the description below. We'll have all the links to the Instagram, the Palmer Vision website. Contact those guys on there and check out the website. It's I've been on it myself. It's a good website, nice and clean and easy to read. So go check out all Adam's stuff on there and get in contact if you've heard anything or have any questions. That'd be awesome. And like Mike said, Adam, thanks very much for coming on. It's been a good chatting to you. Hopefully we'll speak to you again at some point in the future.
Most definitely.
That's all we could squeeze in this week, folks. Super impressive guy with RP, just absolutely crushing life. Hope you found that useful and informative. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube, subscribe, turn on notifications, all that jazz. And like we always say, don't forget to follow us over on the social media platforms, where you can find us at The RP Show.